What's up, guys? Some news from the world of MMA. Current UFC featherweight world champion Max Blessed Holloway is trolling Conor McGregor in Ireland. That's right. Max Holloway has gone over to Ireland. And as we can see on Max's Instagram page, posted today just 51 minutes ago, Max is in Ireland at the Jameson Whiskey facility. Why does this matter? Conor McGregor has also launched his own whiskey brand called Proper 12. McGregor is very proud. He's a very proud Irishman, and he has launched what he calls Proper 12 whiskey as a homage to his kinsman in Ireland. Max went over to Ireland, and he says, 238 years of innovation, hard work, and unmatched quality, not a watered-down trend. A true pillar of Ireland, supporting the hard-working families in Dublin for generations. Thank you, Jameson Whiskey, for the hospitality and sharing the people's story with me. The #1 Irish whiskey in the world. And we can see some photos of Holloway touring the Jameson facility, meeting with the staff, and even being presented his own special bottle of Jameson whiskey, to which they had his name engraved on the label. So you can actually take a few things from what Max has said here. And what he says, and this is a very clear and well-calculated attempt to get Conor McGregor's attention, to piss Conor off enough that hopefully Conor will retaliate and respond to Max, to which I think he will, which will create a social media storm in the hopes of now positioning Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor at an upcoming fight. And that would actually make a lot of sense for July of 2019. Now, they have history here, and I'll get into the history in a minute, but let me finish this. What Max says about Jameson Whiskey, he says not a watered-down trend. And Conor has, Proper 12 has had mixed reviews. I know it's selling well. It's going to make Conor a ton of money, but there's been mixed reviews from the whiskey aficionados, and this is a little stick that Max is throwing Conor's way. He also says a true pillar of Ireland, to which Conor represents himself as a pillar of the Irish culture and a representative of the Irish people, to which I think Conor does a very good job of that. And he says supporting the hard-working families in Dublin for generations. Now, Conor, again, he's very proud of his Irish lineage, and he does speak often about his kinsmen going back hundreds of years and what they have done and what they have accomplished, and how Conor feels the Proper 12 whiskey represents the nation of Ireland with such respect. So Max, I believe, is very calculated here in going over to Ireland and making these statements and putting this out there. And as we can see, Conor McGregor's Proper 12 whiskey, I mean, this just came out. It's got already over 500,000 followers. That's crazy. So you can see the power of the Conor McGregor brand just right here, on his Instagram page. 500,000 people started following this within a month or two of Conor putting this out and putting the page out there. And you can see it looks good. The marketing's great. And Conor is very well vested, very proud of his Proper 12 whiskey. And I think Max actually did a great job in trying to get Conor's attention by, putting that tweet out there, putting that Instagram post out there. Now, for those of you who might not know, Conor McGregor actually did fight Max Holloway back in, what year was this? I can actually tell you right here, and looking at the Sherdog record. In 2013, August of 2013, I was actually at that event. I shared some time with Conor McGregor and his coach, John Kavanagh. That's when we first met face-to-face and had a very nice little time together. Now, Conor McGregor defeated Max Holloway back in 2013. Conor destroyed Max Holloway in 2013 at UFC Fight Night 26. He destroyed and dismantled Max. Conor looked amazing in the process. And we can actually scroll through the MMA Junkie site and we can see some of the photos of this. I mean, Conor was all over Max. Conor was a step ahead of Max. Conor was very, very switched on in this fight. Max was playing the defense the whole time. Now, Max is tough as nails. You know, Max really did his best to get in there and stay in the fight, but Conor was just the better man that night, and Conor was able to walk away with the unanimous decision victory. And this right here, this is, let me blow it up for you guys, this is an iconic photo of the Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway fight. It doesn't really do Max justice, but at the same time, being in a position like this in the world of MMA, this is not a good spot to let another man be able to manhandle you, literally manhandle you like this. It happens, things happen, but that's an iconic photo that's been spread around the internet millions and millions and millions and millions of times. This is a very viral photo right here. You could see some of the damage of, Max Holloway's wearing on his face from that fight. Conor he really did top to bottom on the feet, takedowns, grappling. Conor looked better. He was the better man on this night, and he was able to walk away with a big unanimous decision victory. Now, let me show you something. Max Holloway, since that fight, this is Max's Sherdog page, since that fight back in 2013, Max Holloway has been on a tear. He goes on to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fights in a row after that loss to Conor. 13 fights in a row. Max Holloway was able to win after the loss to Conor McGregor. When he goes up, he beats Anthony Pettis, former UFC 155-pound world champion. He beats Pettis and goes on to then fight Jose Aldo for the UFC featherweight world title. I believe it was an interim title at this point because Conor had to vacate his world title. However that works in the UFC is always confusing. But Max Holloway goes on and wins the UFC world title. Then he defends the UFC world title again in a rematch versus Jose Aldo, who had come off a win versus Frankie Edgar and got himself back into the mix. And then Max most recently goes out there and destroys Brian Ortega. So Max Holloway is definitely not the fighter that he was back in 2013 when he fought Conor McGregor. He is a completely different animal right now. But to look at Conor McGregor, his record, Conor goes on in 2013. He beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 straight wins. He has that loss to Nate Diaz, comes back to beat Nate Diaz, knocks out Eddie Alvarez to become the champ, and then loses to Khabib Nurmagomedov most recently in October. So as we go back, Conor beats Max Holloway. He beats Dustin Poirier, who's now one of the top 155-pounders in the planet. I got a story about that fight because I actually saw Poirier on that fight prior to. And boy, that's a whole nother story I'll do down the road. He beats Dennis Seaver. He beats UFC #1 title contender Chad Mendes. Mendes fought twice for the UFC featherweight world title. Conor goes out there and destroys Jose Aldo with a 13-second knockout to claim the UFC featherweight world title. Then he goes out a year later and he loses to Nate Diaz via rear naked choke, but he comes back and gets his revenge. Beats Nate Diaz. Steps up a weight class from his 145-pound victory to 155, challenges Eddie Alvarez for the 155-pound world title, beats Eddie Alvarez via knockout, and becomes the first ever champ. Dual weight class UFC world champion, 145, 155, vacates those titles, and then most recently he loses to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and we all know that Conor McGregor had fought Floyd Mayweather in between. So, what do you guys think about Max Holloway trolling Conor McGregor? Do you think this was a good job? Do you think he has gotten Conor's attention? And also, who do you want to see Max and Conor fight? Leave your comments below. Let's have a conversation about this. Everyone's talking about Conor versus Cowboy Cerrone, but Max Holloway doesn't want that to happen, it seems. It sounds like Max Holloway is looking for the fight versus Conor McGregor, and that is the right fight to make. Then we have Max Holloway probably bumping up to 155 to fight Conor McGregor. That would be an amazing super fight. Like I said, Max Holloway is not the same athlete that fought Conor back in 2013, but Conor McGregor is a savage, man. I don't care what you say. Conor McGregor is a savage. You go back and look at his resume, look at the athletes he's beaten. He's beat Max Holloway, he beat Dustin Poirier, he beat Chad Mendes, he beat Jose Aldo, he beat Nate Diaz, he beat Eddie Alvarez. Those are heavy hitters. I don't care what you say. This is the fight to make. I love Donald Cerrone. I want to see Donald get that red panty night also. So hopefully the timing all works out. Maybe Conor versus Cowboy, and then Conor versus Max. Who knows how it's going to work out? I'm not Mick Maynard. I'm not Sean Shelby. I am just sitting here as a fight fan at this point. But I have to give a solid thumbs up to Max Holloway for an excellent job on the trolling here. Way to troll, way to get Conor's attention. I'm sure that you definitely did, Max. And then for everybody listening, leave your comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to this channel, people. And until next time, boom!